But all right. Well, let's get into. Tell me about the message. Tell me what inspired you to write that song.
Well, wanting to say something about the stuff I saw going on all around me. And musically wanted to say something a little different than what was being done with the current rap records, because, you know, I wanted original music, which I did myself.
Right. You know, a lot of people don't fully know, because they always thought that was just a Grandmaster Flash, Fury 5. They always just think that's Melly Mel who wrote that song. So.
Well, Melly Mel wrote 10% of the song. He wrote the last verse. Everything else is me.
Right. And even going into your, you actually performed on the song, right?
Yeah, it was my voice on Grandmaster Flash's 3 largest selling records. It would say Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, and on the bottom it would have featuring Melly Mel and Bootee.
But people don't know that the first verse is the first voice is yours.
Yeah, well, like I said, you know.
Went on to find out, hip hop's supposedly, people were always writing their own lyrics and things. So how did you think about that the whole time? I mean, you knew something different,
Well, actually, up until that time, most rappers wrote their own lyrics. I mean, it was very rare for somebody to do a record that someone else had written the lyrics for. But Sylvie Robinson, who owned Sugar Records,
right.
I was doing tracks for people and would do reference vocals. And then they would take it and make it sound more commercial. And she just fixated on my voice and said, well, let's get a little rap name and I'm going to put you on there.
So
that's kind of how that happened. I mean, I did that with singing when I produced singers. If I would sing certain things and hopefully they better than me, they would take the idea I had and really amplify it.
Right. So in other words, you took a reference vocal, basically. You took a reference vocal.
That's what I was doing. Yeah, I did. That's what that was. I did a reference vocal.
Okay.
She said, well, I like that, because all of them tried it. They didn't like it. They didn't want to do it. That's all history. That's been recorded. They didn't want to do it. They ran out of the studio. We leaving if we got to do this. And after they left, Mel came back and said, you know something? I got a verse from another record, which was Super Robin, which was on Enjoy Records that really goes with this. I said, yeah, say it.
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too.
I said, Sophie, you gotta hear this verse that Mel got. She heard it, she liked it, we put it on the end.
So that was from a different track. That verse was
right,
from Super
Robin.
Robin.
That was from a record called Super Robin, which was on Enjoy Records. Sylvia, once she realized she wanted to use it, bought it from another guy that owned Enjoy Records, and then we were able to use it on the message.
Yeah, it was like 82 and the early 80s and stuff.
No, that's, I was playing on records from 79. I mean, hip-hop records. And then 82 is when the message jumped off and I actually started getting more production work.
Right. So, but you weren't doing all just hip-hop. You were doing rock.
Oh,
you were doing
I was doing
R&B.
I was doing rock. I did a lot of rock stuff. I did some jazz stuff, cabaret stuff. I had a background as a musician, so, I had worked with singers and liked working with singers, and basically if someone had some money and thought I could help them make a more commercial record, I wouldn't work with them.
You guys were creating the sound that became what hip-hop was, though.
Yeah, I think that's true to a certain degree, but a lot of the stuff we did, now you gotta understand that a lot of groups came before us, Cool and the Gang, Ohio Pledge, George Clinton, who's from Plainfield, by the way.
Right.
Just the thing we had was before we were producers, we were musicians.
Right.
I was a studio musician. Before I was a studio musician, I was a local yokel playing cover band. So we learned how to listen to records. We knew how to reproduce a record, play every part that was on that record. That meant you had to listen to it. You had to know what other bands would play. So at that time, And the kids were even then sampling older records. We would take that stuff and improvise on it a little bit, change it a little bit, and there you go.
Right. So, I mean, there was a lot of influences.
Well, I think what I'm saying is that the roots of hip-hop, just like today, are really steeped in R&B and funk and stuff like that.
Right, because see, that was like a very funky track. Like, that was a heavily, like, so what was your particular inspiration for the message as far as the track?
The message was more, although people don't really hear it like I hear it. I was listening to a guy called Brian Eno, and he was producing, English producer, because I used to spend time in England. And I was also listening, he did a record called My Life in the Bush and Ghost. We were on tour with Zach, Roger Trout. They had more bounce than the ounce, and I used to love that record. Love it. And so I said, well, and then there was another record. I happened to be down in the islands in St. Thomas, what's the name of it was down there? You're the guy from Talking Head, Tina Weymouth, and the guy from Talking Head. They had a record called Genius of Love that knocked me out. It was those three records, My Life in the Bush of Ghost, Genius of Love, and Roger Troutman, More Bounce Than the Ounce was where the music for the message came from. And then it was also, my crazy shit with it. Anytime you do something, you're influenced by whatever you're listening to at that time, or whatever music you might be playing at that time. So I didn't say, I'm going to do this like that, or I'm going to do that like that. It's just that that's what I was listening to. And most times when you're creating stuff, in fact, if I want to do something completely new, I'll stop listening to shit. Just so I won't be influenced by what I'm listening to.
Right.
But that's more than what I was listening to at that time. And, when I say that to people who know, they say, oh, yeah, I hear that.
And so that's the production part. Okay, that's the production part of that. That's the sound of the message and everything. But the message is given credit as being one of the songs that was instrumental in creating the conscious element.
Yeah, well, because I'm also a writer. I've done working on my fourth novel. Like the guys used to say, how do you have so much to say? I'd be like, well, I read 5 newspapers a day. You listen to these rappers today, you wouldn't even know there's a black president. Because, people are so self-absorbed. They don't really... I, as an artist, always wanted to mirror what was going on around me. And I was never political. They tried to make me political, but I was more social.
Okay.
And I just want to mirror what society looked like to me.
So, in that, the hook, you came up with the hooks and stuff. So that's what, like, real powerful to people. Even, like they say now, those words still ring true. Don't push me.
Yeah, because it's true.
Right. So, but what made you...
Truth can become an anthem.
True. And what made you, that hook? How did you come up with the hook?
Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Like, what was the inspiration for that?
Just life, really. It's like a jungle. I mean, I can't say that any particular one incident or I saw a guy this, that, and the other. No, it's just like that's the consciousness that it takes, or it took for me and people like me to carve away in life. In terms of don't push me. I mean, everybody. That's why it resonated as the first rap song. Everybody, black, white, brown, whatever, related to, because it had certain personal themes that people can relate to.
Been maybe like the most surprising thing that you found from doing that one song? Like, has there been anything that really...
Yeah, couple one, like I said, I've had so many records I've done. Last count 38, probably more by now. But people try to make my whole career that one record. 2, the fact that one record has paid my mortgage for 32 years. And on top of that one record is still, according to Rolling Stone, known the #1 hip hop record of all time.
Wow.
That shit is surprising to me.
Wow. Wow.
You know, I mean, when you think about it, you know, I just told a kid today, I teach college, it's like, you better be aware of every song you write, because you don't know which one will be the one that's like the lottery winner. You know, and that's surprising to me. And if I tell kids, it ain't like I'm such a great genius. It's just y'all are so self-absorbed and this